Hey everybody, Chris Crypto here. Who wants to talk about taxes? Well, it's getting near the end of the year and thought it'd be a good idea to talk about crypto taxes. Now, I'm in the United States, so the things I'm going to be talking about in this video apply to the US. May apply to other countries as well, but if you're in another country, that's up to you to understand what your country's tax implications are on trading crypto and investments. Now, I'm not a tax advisor and I'm not a financial advisor. In this video, I'm just showing you what I'm doing. In the United States, if you trade on a large exchange or a platform, let's say like Robinhood or Webull, they're going to send you a 1099 form sometime in late January, early February. And it's going to list all of the trades that you made. So that's great because you don't have to keep track of all of them. But there's other exchanges, well, they're probably not going to send you anything. If you're on these exchanges where United States citizens can't do KYC, I'm talking like KuCoin and Whitebit and Bitmart and probably Gate.io as well. I think that's one of them. You're not going to be getting a 1099 form. So you're going to have to keep track of when you made your purchases and when you made your sales. In this video, I'm going to concentrate more on the swapping side. So that's going to be Pancake Swap, Uniswap. These are BSC tokens, ERC20 tokens, because no one's keeping track of those either, but you need to. Now, if you just bought and you never sold, you got nothing to worry about. You should still keep track of when you actually made your purchases. But if you sold any, and I'm talking sell, meaning swap. You swapped it back to BNB if you're on a BSC token. That is a taxable event. You didn't sell, but you swapped. And as soon as you make that swap, that is taxable. And you have a profit or loss from when you bought it or swapped BNB for it to when you swapped it back to BNB. That change in value of that token is taxable. So I'm going to show you how I keep track of these things in this video. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. So this is the spreadsheet that I use to track my tokens for swapping. And if you want a copy of this spreadsheet, please join my Patreon. I am going to be giving it away for free to my Patreon members. So on Patreon, just message me, let me know which version you want. I have this in both OpenOffice and Microsoft Excel. So if you haven't bought the Microsoft Office suite and don't have Excel, you can use OpenOffice, which is free download. Highly recommend OpenOffice, works very well because you don't always have to pay Microsoft, right, for Excel when OpenOffice does the same thing. So this is the OpenOffice version I'll be showing in this video. What I do here is I set up for each wallet. So I have two wallets. I have a Trust wallet and I have a MetaMask wallet. And my Trust wallet, I had SafeMoon. I bought SafeMoon back in April and I sold it in August. The way I set up the spreadsheet is I first have my wallet address here. And the reason for putting my wallet address here is so I can quickly go into BSC scan and I can see what my trades were, what my swaps were very quickly. So I put that on the spreadsheet. And then I also, for each token, I put the contract for whatever that token is. So I have a record of what the contract was. This is important, especially for SafeMoon, because SafeMoon now has a new contract. They went to V2, but this is the old one. If you don't know what the contract is, I'll show you. So this is a Bonfire, let's say. So I bought Bonfire back in April. And if you haven't already filled this out, you can still do that now. Just because you didn't fill out this spreadsheet when you made the trades, that's okay, because you can go back. It's all on the blockchain. You can figure that out. So this is Bonfire. So what I'll do is I'll go to the PooCoin. This is PooCoin.app. And so from here, you can come into the token name and you can just type in Bonfire. And then here's the Bonfire right here. So you click on Bonfire and it'll show you the trading of Bonfire. But you want to know the contract address. So you come over here to the left and you say Bonfire contract. What that's going to do, that's going to take you to BSC Scan. On BSC Scan, it's going to show you the contract for Bonfire. So here's Bonfire here. You click on that, and then there's the contract address. You click on copy address right here, OX5E9. So you don't have to type it all out. It's all right here. And then you go back to your spreadsheet, and you paste it into the contract field right there. So that gives you the contract. The contract is important to have just as the record. Now, if we want to see what the trades were, because you don't remember, you didn't write them down when you did them, what you can do is you can take your wallet address, and you can, I copy the wallet address, and then you go back to BSC Scan, and up at the top here, you can search by address. You just paste in your wallet address, and what you're going to get is all of the swaps that you've done with your wallet. If you have more than 25, you have to click here under transactions for your total transaction. I've done 211 transactions with this wallet. So I click on the all, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go all the way to the last. And so here we're looking for where those swaps were that I made. You know, one way to look at it, depending on how many swaps you have, you can go and you can find your exact swaps that you did, or you can go into the individual tokens. For instance, this swap exact token right here that I did 243 days ago, that was for Bonfire right here. So this was one of my original purchases of Bonfire. This shows me the date. So up here, April 29th is the date. So I'm going to take that date and I'm going to put it in the spreadsheet. And here it is, April 29th. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to say, okay, these are the important things. What was the BNB price? BNB was $600.65 for BNB. So that's important to put in the spreadsheet. And it also shows me how many tokens I got. And so this was 654 million tokens, right? And it tells me how much I actually paid in BNB. So I put that into the spreadsheet. So here's those 654 million tokens right here. I put in the BNB price, and then I populate these other categories. This 0.09, that's how many BNB that I spent for that first 654 million. And then these other fields I fill in partially as a check to make sure that I've got all the numbers right. But I also, while I'm trading in a token, I also cover the current price because I want to compare what my purchase price was with the current price. So if I spent $49.32 for that first stack of Bonfire tokens, I can compare it to what the price is now. Now it's only worth $11, so it's at a loss right now. But I already sold it. Anyway, you go back to the BSC Scan, and I'll go back here. And then I also did another swap here. And so this is where I bought more Bonfire. And I did one BNB. So I bought more Bonfire. The first one was kind of a test. And then I spent one BNB. And I got 6.4 billion Bonfires. So you copy that, and you go back to your spreadsheet, and you put it in the spreadsheet. So there's my 6.4 billion. So that's here on the spreadsheet. There's my one BNB that I spent. So it's a total of 1.09. Then when I sold it in August, and that's also in my wallet, so you go back to BSC Scan, and you put in when you sold it. I sold it in August, and I got 0.9 BNB back. The BNB price had dropped down to $330. So out of my initial $596 investment of Bonfire, I ended up with $312. So this is a loss of $283 on Bonfire. I'm glad I got out of it because Bonfire kept going down. after I sold it. And it's even lower now. You can see right now that the current bonfire price, the total is $120.83. I got $312 when I sold. So bonfire kept going down. So I got out of bonfire. But this is how it works. And basically, you add up your profits and losses. So SafeMoon, I made $400 on SafeMoon. I lost $283 on bonfire. I made $676 on Slam Token. And then these herpes, these were gifted to me. And so there was no purchase on my part. They were sent to me. And when I sold them, it's all profit. So when they were gifted to me, they were worth $48. When I sold, it was $90. That entire amount is profit on that. So I'm going to have to add that whole $90 because it's all taxable. Another thing that's interesting is the reflections. So Bonfire, Slam, and even SafeMoon has reflections. When you get reflections, those are like gifts. All of that is taxable. So I add that to my sale line, essentially is what I do, because the whole amount is taxable. You could try and figure out when you get reflections and put them all in the spreadsheet, but my gosh, I mean, you're getting reflections all the time. So that's really difficult to to figure out. But that's how the spreadsheet works. I also have my current tokens down here, Million and TrueBurn. These are the two that I currently hold. Haven't sold them, and I just keep track of how I'm doing. So right now, my purchase of Million token, I've put in $7,500 into Million token. Right now, it's at $4,700, so I'm operating at a loss. I'm going to hold this. I'm going to keep holding it. What I do, though, is I also, for each swap that I make, I put in the token price at the time of the swap. And then through the math on the spreadsheet, I can figure out what my average is. So my average is $19 per token for Million token. That's my average. And so the spreadsheet calculates it for me. And same with TrueBurn. So if you want this spreadsheet, join my Patreon. I'll be glad to send it to you. It's very, very helpful. And again, you can always go back, and this works for Etherscan on the ERC20 tokens as well. Very easy to, once the spreadsheet is all set up, it's really easy to populate. And I highly recommend it. Taxes are your burden. They're your responsibility, keeping track of all this stuff. And with these tokens, I mean, these are taxable events when you swap back. Now, the other thing that's interesting is when you get your BNB back, that BNB you've got to track, because you're going to take that BNB that you got. Let's say I got 5 BNB back from SafeMoon. Well, I took that BNB and I bought Million token with it. And so some of this BNB here that I bought for Million token at prices of $408, $404. Well, when I sold that SafeMoon up here, it was $330. Well, guess what? That BNB going from $330 up to $408 is also taxable. That's a profit. And so I'm going to add the BNB down at the bottom because I need to calculate the change of the BNB price as well, because that's also a swap. You can see how this can just keep growing, and you got to keep track of this stuff. Anyway, that's my spreadsheet. I thought I would show you how I'm doing it, and I think it's very important to track this. It's your responsibility. For the taxes. Now, I know it's a pain to keep track of all this stuff, but you're the one who's trading crypto here, so it's up to you. For me, once you sum all this up, if you do your own taxes, you've got your investments and you can have to add them together. Let's say you traded stocks as well, and it all adds together, whether it's crypto or stocks, in terms of how the IRS looks at it on the tax forms. I use an accountant now. I've used an accountant for a number of years because I got a couple side businesses, and it's great. I just package all the stuff up for the like Robinhood and Webull. You download the PDF file. My accountant does everything online. I just upload everything in PDFs, and then he takes it from there. Highly recommend a tax accountant for this stuff. He takes care of everything. He even sets up for the coming year my quarterly pre-tax amounts based on my forecasts, what I did last year, and what I think I'm going to be doing next year. Highly recommend it. I also cover taxes a little bit on my live streams. If you have any questions, particularly send me a super chat during my live streams and I'll answer it the best I can. So that's my deal on taxes. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below what you think. I'm not going to be answering tax questions here in the comments. Do that to Patreon or during my live stream, please. Give the video a like. And if you haven't already subscribed to the Chris Crypto channel, please do. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.